Hello, this is Clara. Paula's tale, my family didn't invite me to Christmas, but sent me a $25,000 invoice for my sister's new car. Pay by December 31st is what I'm going to share to you today. I thus sent them $10 each and stopped all financial aid. You only deserve that. Then they recalled my name. All right, let's go. I'm Paula, and I'm 35 years old. I believed I had everything all out. I was a dentist in a downtown private practice. I earned excellent money, very good money, enough to buy a car that started every morning, a wonderful house in a quiet neighborhood, and a solid savings account that helped me sleep easier at night. My family lived in the next state over: Mom, Dad, my younger sister Emma, and her husband Mike. They'd gotten married just 6 months ago, and honestly, I barely knew the guy. We only saw each other at Christmas, and sometimes they'd drive up to visit me for a weekend or two during the year. When they came to stay, I covered everything: food, gas money, shopping trips, whatever they needed. It wasn't a big deal to me. I had the money, they didn't, and that's what family does, right? I never really thought about it much. They didn't invite me to visit them often, and I didn't push it. I was busy with work anyway. The arrangement worked fine for everyone. They got their free vacation. I got to see my family a couple of times a year, and nobody complained. I wasn't the type to get all emotional about family dynamics or keep score of who called who more often. Life was good. But then November rolled around, and Christmas was coming up fast, 3 weeks away, to be exact. I went shopping for presents early this year. I got Dad a nice watch he'd been eyeing for months. Mom got a fancy kitchen gadget she'd mentioned wanting. For Emma, I picked out some expensive jewelry that I knew she'd love but would never buy for herself. And for Mike, well, I got him a gift card to that sporting goods store he was always talking about. The gifts cost me a decent chunk of change, but I didn't mind. I was looking forward to seeing everyone's faces when they opened them. It had been a long year, and I was ready for some family time. I even took time off work, which was a big deal for me. Dr. Martinez, who owns the clinic, wasn't thrilled about losing me during the busy season, but I'd earned the break. I booked my flights, made sure my house was ready to be empty for a week, and started counting down the days. Everything was perfect. At least, that's what I thought until the phone rang on a Tuesday afternoon. I was just finishing up with a patient when my receptionist told me my mom was online too. I figured she was calling to confirm my arrival time or ask what food I wanted her to make for Christmas dinner, normal mom stuff. Hey, Mom, what's up? Hi, Paula, I need to talk to you about Christmas. Her tone was different, not excited or warm like usual, just flat and matter of fact. Sure, what about it? Do you need me to bring anything special? Actually, it would be better if you didn't come this year. I almost dropped the phone. What do you mean? Mike's parents and his sister are coming for Christmas this year. They don't really get along with you, and we don't want any drama or arguments during the holidays. My brain took a few seconds to process what she was saying. So, you're choosing them over me? Don't be dramatic, Paula. You're making this into something bigger than it is. It's just Christmas. There will be other years. And then she hung up, just like that. I sat there, staring at my phone, trying to make sense of what had just happened. My own mother had just uninvited me from Christmas because my sisters-in-laws didn't like me. The whole thing with Mike's family started right after Emma and Mike got engaged. I met his parents and sister at the engagement party, and within 5 minutes of learning I was a dentist, they cornered me. "Oh, you're a dentist," Mike's mom had said, her eyes lighting up. "Perfect. We all need some dental work done. When can you fit us in?" I was confused. "Well, I work at a private clinic, so you'd need to call and make appointments like everyone else." "But your family now," Mike's dad jumped in. "Surely you can take care of us for free. That's what family does." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. These people I just met were demanding free dental work, not asking, demanding. "I can't do free work," I explained as calmly as I could. "The clinic has policies, and I don't own it. But I can definitely get you a substantial discount if you need treatment." Mike's sister rolled her eyes. Wow, so you're just greedy then? Here we thought we were getting a dentist in the family, but you're just another money-grabbing professional. The whole conversation happened right in front of everyone at the party. Emma looked mortified, and my parents were clearly uncomfortable. I'm not being greedy, I said. I'm being realistic. I can't give away free services that cost the clinic money. Whatever, Mike's mom said. We'll find someone else who actually cares about family. After that, they made a point of ignoring me for the rest of the party. When I tried to make conversation, they'd walk away or give me one-word answers. It was awkward as hell. Later that night, my parents pulled me aside. Maybe you could reconsider, Dad said. It would keep the peace in the family. You want me to pay for their dental work out of my own pocket just to keep the peace? It's not that much money for you, Mom added, and it would make Emma's life easier. No, I said firmly. I'm not going to sponsor people who are essentially strangers to me. They're not my family. They're Emma's in-laws. Emma and Mike were upset with me for a while after that, but they got over it when they needed money for their honeymoon. Funny how principles disappear when you need something. Since then, I'd made sure to avoid any family events where Mike's parents would be present. It wasn't hard. They lived even further away than my parents, so they didn't visit often. But apparently, they were making a special trip for Christmas this year, and my family had chosen them over me. I spent the rest of that day in a fog. Patients came and went, but I was running on autopilot. My brain kept replaying Mom's words over and over. It's just Christmas. There will be other years. Just Christmas, like it was nothing. When I got home that evening, I looked at all the wrapped presents sitting on my dining room table. The fancy watch for Dad, the kitchen gadget for Mom, Emma's jewelry, Mike's gift card. I'd spent hours picking out each one, making sure they were perfect. Now they were just sitting there, mocking me. I grabbed my laptop and started looking up the return policies for each store. Most of them had decent return windows, especially with Christmas coming up. I could get most of my money back, maybe even all of it if I was lucky. But as I sat there with the return forms pulled up on my screen, I had a different idea, a much better idea. I closed the laptop 9 and opened up a new browser window. If my family didn't want me for Christmas, then I'd treat myself to the Christmas I actually wanted. No awkward small talk, no pretending to care about people who clearly didn't care about me, no walking on eggshells around Mike's rude family. I started browsing vacation packages to Hawaii. I'd always wanted to go but never made the time. The first few hotels I looked at were nice, but nothing special. Then I found it, a luxury resort in Maui with an ocean view, spa services, and a private beach, the kind of place I'd never normally splurge on. When I added up what I'd spent on Christmas gifts, plus the flight I'd already booked to visit my parents, plus all the money I usually spent on them during the holidays, this vacation was actually cheaper than Christmas with my family. I booked it immediately. 7 days in paradise, leaving December 24th. Christmas Eve seemed like the perfect time to start my new tradition of putting myself first. The next morning, I returned every single Christmas gift and used the money to upgrade my hotel room to a suite with a balcony overlooking the ocean. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it right. For the next couple of weeks, I threw myself into work and tried not to think about my family. I was actually starting to look forward to my solo Christmas vacation. No stress, no drama, just me and 7 days of pure relaxation. I bought myself some new clothes for the trip, sundresses and sandals instead of the sweaters and boots I'd packed for the cold weather back home. I even got my nails done and bought a nice camera to capture every moment of my first real solo vacation. But then, exactly 1 week before Christmas, I got an email from my mother that made my jaw drop. The subject line was Emma's Christmas gift payment required. I opened it, thinking it was some kind of joke. Hi Paula, we've decided to give Emma a wonderful Christmas surprise, a brand new car worth $25,000. Since we don't have that kind of money and you do, we need you to pay for it. I've attached the invoice below. The car dealership is expecting payment by December 31st. Love, Mom. Attached was an actual invoice from a car dealership for exactly $25,000. I read the email 3 times, unable to believe what I was seeing. They had literally gone out and bought a car without consulting me, then sent me the bill like I was some kind of ATM they could withdraw from whenever they wanted. I sat down and wrote a response immediately, trying to keep my anger in check. Mom, I am not paying for Emma's car. I never agreed to this, and I'm not responsible for gifts you decide to give other people. I thought I'd been pretty clear, but apparently not clear enough. The next morning, my phone rang at 7 a.m. It was Mom, and she was screaming before I even said hello. How dare you? We're counting on you to pay for this car. Do you have any idea how arrogant you're being? This is your problem, I said calmly. You should have thought about how to pay for it before you bought it. You are obligated to pay for this car, she screamed even louder. We've already told everyone we gave Emma a car for Christmas. Mike's parents know about it. If you don't pay for it, they're going to be furious, and it's going to cause problems for Emma. That's your problem, I repeated. If you want to disown me over this, go ahead. I hung up. 15 minutes later, the text started. First from Mom, you are a terrible daughter, selfish and greedy. How can you do this to your own sister? Then from Dad, your mother is right. You're being selfish. Family helps family. Then from Emma, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You're supposed to be my sister. You're a horrible person. Message after message, all saying the same thing. I was terrible, selfish, greedy, a bad person, the worst sister and daughter in the world. I didn't respond to any of them. I just sat there, watching my phone buzz with increasingly nasty texts. The irony wasn't lost on me. These were the same people who had uninvited me from Christmas, and now they were calling me selfish for not paying for their shopping spree. After about an hour, the tone changed. Now they were pleading. Please, Paula, we really need you to pay for this car. We're begging you. Please don't let us down. We'll pay you back somehow. Please. I ignored those too. Then, that evening, I got one final text from Mom. Since you refused to help your own family, we're disowning you. Don't contact us again. You're no longer our daughter. I read it calmly and set my phone down without responding. Part of me wondered if I should feel hurt or devastated. After all, my own family had just officially cut me off. But I felt nothing. No sadness, no anger, no regret. Just relief. If this was how they wanted to handle things, then fine. I had a vacation to look forward to, and for the first time in years, I wouldn't have to worry about anyone else's problems but my own. Christmas Eve morning arrived, and I woke up feeling better than I had in weeks. No family drama to deal with, no awkward conversations to navigate, no pretending to be grateful for gifts I didn't want, just me, my suitcase, and a first-class ticket to Hawaii. The flight was smooth, and I spent most of it reading a book I'd been wanting to get to for months. No interruptions, no family members calling to complain about something, pure peace. When I landed in Maui, the warm air hit my face like a hug I didn't know I needed. The resort was even more beautiful than the photos online. My suite had a massive balcony overlooking the ocean, and I could hear the waves crashing on the beach below. I unpacked slowly, taking my time to arrange my new sundresses in the closet and set up my camera on the dresser. This was my vacation, and I was going to savor every single moment of it. That evening, I treated myself to dinner at the resort's fancy restaurant. The hostess seemed surprised when I said it was just me, but she seated me at a table with a perfect ocean view. I ordered the most expensive thing on the menu, lobster with champagne, and didn't feel guilty about it for 1 second. As I was finishing my meal, my phone buzzed. I almost ignored it, but then I saw it was a text from Mom. Hope you remember that the mortgage payment is due soon. We're expecting the usual amount. Also, we still need gifts for Christmas morning. The family is arriving soon. I stared at the message in disbelief. These people had literally disowned me less than a week ago, and now they were expecting me to pay their mortgage and send them Christmas gifts. The mortgage, I'd been paying my parents' mortgage for 3 years. It started when Dad lost his job, and they were about to lose the house. I stepped in to help temporarily, and somehow, temporarily had turned into 3 years of me covering their $2,800 monthly payment. I'd never really thought about stopping the payments before. It was just something I did, like paying my own bills. But sitting there in paradise, looking out at the ocean while my disowned family expected me to fund their Christmas, something snapped. I opened my banking app and canceled the automatic transfer to their mortgage company. Then I sent them each $10 through the payment app, Mom, Dad, and Emma. With each transfer, I wrote the same message: Merry Christmas. This is all you deserve. After I sent the money, I turned off my phone and ordered dessert. The chocolate cake was incredible, and I ate every bite while watching the ocean. That night, I turned my phone back on to find dozens of missed calls and texts. Mom had been calling nonstop since the afternoon. The texts were frantic: "Call me immediately. We have a serious problem. This is all your fault." I scrolled through them, eating room service in my fluffy hotel bathrobe. The last few messages told the whole story. Apparently, Mike's parents had found out about the car situation when they learned that I wasn't paying for it, and the car dealership was demanding immediate payment. They got absolutely furious. They accused my parents of lying about their financial situation and trying to look more generous than they actually were. The whole thing turned into a massive fight on Christmas Day. Mike's parents stormed out and said they weren't coming back for any future holidays. Emma and Mike left too, completely humiliated that their Christmas gift had turned into a family scandal that everyone would remember forever. Mom's final text said, "Christmas is ruined, and it's all because of your selfishness. Emma and Mike won't even talk to us. We don't want to see you ever again." I set the phone down and looked out at the moonlight reflecting on the ocean. Tomorrow, I had a snorkeling tour planned, and the day after that, a helicopter ride around the island. Christmas was ruined for them, but mine was just getting started. The next few days were absolute bliss. I went snorkeling and saw tropical fish I'd only seen in pictures: bright yellow tangs, rainbow parrotfish, and even a sea turtle that swam right up to me. I got a massage at the spa that made me feel like I was floating on clouds. I took the sunset dinner cruise and met some nice people from Canada who were celebrating their 25th anniversary. Every morning, I woke up naturally, without an alarm, had coffee on my balcony while watching the sunrise, and planned my day around nothing but what I wanted to do. I was taking pictures of everything: the pristine beach, the gourmet food, my tropical drinks by the pool. For the first time in years, I was documenting my own life instead of just living it for other people. On day 3 of my vacation, I decided to post some photos on social media. I'd been pretty quiet on there lately, but these pictures were too good not to share. The ocean, my fancy dinner, me looking relaxed and happy in my sun hat. I posted them with a simple caption: "Best Christmas vacation ever." Within an hour, the comments started rolling in from friends and coworkers. "You look amazing. Living your best life. So jealous right now." But then I noticed some comments from Mom. She was commenting on every single photo. Under my beach photo, "Must be nice to be so selfish while your family struggles." Under my dinner photo, "Some people care more about fancy food than their own parents." Under my poolside selfie, "Hope you're enjoying yourself while we can't pay our bills." I couldn't believe it. Even from thousands of miles away, she was trying to guilt-trip me and make me look bad in front of my friends and coworkers. But instead of getting upset, I started laughing. Here I was in paradise, and she was sitting at home writing nasty comments on social media like some kind of bitter teenager. She was actually making herself look worse than me, and I'm sure anyone reading could see exactly how toxic she was being. I decided not to delete her comments or block her. Let everyone see how crazy she was being. Let them draw their own conclusions about who was really the problem in this family. Her behavior was speaking louder than any explanation I could give. I stayed in Hawaii for the full 7 days, and every single one was better than the last. I was doing things for me, not trying to impress anyone or meet anyone else's expectations. The best part was the silence. No constant buzzing from my phone with family drama, no guilt trips, no one asking me for money, just the sound of waves and my own thoughts for the first time in years. When I finally flew home, I felt like a completely different person, relaxed, confident, and most importantly, free from the toxic cycle I'd been trapped in for so long. I got back to work refreshed and focused. Dr. Martinez commented on how good I looked, and several patients asked if I'd done something different. I had. I'd finally put myself first. About 2 months after I got back from Hawaii, my phone rang with a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Paula, it's Mom." I should have hung up immediately, but curiosity got the better of me. "We need to talk," she continued before I could say anything. "This whole situation has gone too far. We need to reconcile and get our family back together." I couldn't help but laugh. "Now you want to reconcile? After you disowned me? You're being dramatic. We were all upset during the holidays." People say things they don't mean when they're stressed. "You mean when you couldn't pay for the car you bought without asking me?" There was a pause. "We thought you'd want to help your sister." Family helps family. Family doesn't uninvite each other from Christmas, Mom. Family doesn't demand $25,000 and then throw tantrums when they don't get it. "We miss you," she said, and for a moment, her voice sounded softer. "Can't we just put this behind us?" "No," I said firmly. "I'm not going to put up with you guys anymore. Don't call me again." I hung up and blocked the number. But apparently, they didn't get the message. A few weeks later, I was at work when my receptionist, Janet, came back to my office looking flustered. "Dr. Paula, there are some people here claiming to be your parents. They're demanding to see you, and they're making quite a scene in the lobby." I walked out to the front desk, and sure enough, there were Mom and Dad, looking completely out of place in the upscale clinic. Mom was talking loudly to Janet while Dad stood there looking embarrassed. "We drove all the way from another state to see our daughter," Mom was saying. "You can't keep us from seeing her." Several patients in the waiting room were staring, and I could see Dr. Martinez peeking out of his office with a concerned look. I walked up to them calmly. "You need to leave now." "Paula, honey, we just want to talk," Dad said. "We've driven so far," Mom added. "Surely you can spare a few minutes for your parents. I told you not to contact me anymore. That includes showing up at my workplace." "Don't be ridiculous," Mom said, raising her voice. "We're your parents. And I'm an adult who doesn't want to see you. If you don't leave right now, I'm calling security and the police." I turned to Janet. "Please call security." "You don't mean that," Mom said, but I could see panic in her eyes. "I absolutely mean it. You're harassing me at my place of business. Leave now, or I'll have you arrested for trespassing." Dr. Martinez appeared at my side. "Is there a problem here?" "These people are disrupting my practice," I said, loud enough for everyone in the waiting room to hear. "They're refusing to leave when asked." Dad grabbed Mom's arm. "Come on, we should go." "This isn't over," Mom said as they headed toward the door. "Yes, it is," I called after them. "If you contact me again, or show up anywhere I am, I will get a restraining order." That was 6 months ago, and I haven't heard from them since. I changed my phone number just to be safe and made sure my address wasn't listed anywhere public. I even told the front desk staff at work that if anyone claiming to be my family showed up again, they should call security immediately. My life is so much better now. I work hard, I travel when I want to, and I've started dating a guy named David who works at the hospital downtown. He's kind, stable, and most importantly, he doesn't expect me to solve his financial problems or deal with his crazy relatives. When I told him about my family situation, he was shocked. "They actually demanded you pay for a car they bought without asking you?" "That was just the tip of the iceberg," I said. 3 years of mortgage payments, constant loans that were never repaid, covering all their expenses. When they visited, I was basically their personal ATM. "You're better off without them," he said, and he was right. I don't miss the constant drama, the guilt trips, or the financial demands. I don't miss walking on eggshells or wondering what crisis they'd call me about next. I don't miss feeling obligated to fix everyone else's problems while my own needs came last. The money I used to send them every month now goes into my savings account or toward things I actually enjoy. I've taken 3 more vacations since Hawaii, and I'm planning a trip to Europe next year. Sometimes people ask me if I feel bad about cutting off my family, and the honest answer is no. I feel relieved. I feel free. I feel like I can finally live my own life instead of funding theirs. I'm 36 now, and for the first time in my adult life, my money is my own, my time is my own, my decisions are my own. I have a career I love, a relationship that's healthy and supportive, and friends who respect my boundaries. David and I are talking about moving in together next year, and for the first time, I'm excited about building a future with someone who sees me as a partner, not a paycheck. And that's exactly how I like it.